So I'm Jackie Marks. I'm our PR and communications manager or lead for the MSC in the US. And I'm going to walk you through some of what we've learned from the seafood consumer and our target audience. So we wanted to understand the consumer mindset during a time when cost of living and grocery prices were increasing steeply. And there was instability in markets, global relations. The price of the grocery store was out of control, supply chains, and this is really an ongoing issue. So we did a quick poll of American consumers. This poll was in market at the beginning of this year. So does everyone remember the egg crisis of early 2025? It wasn't that long ago. The prices were through the roof. If your grocery store even had eggs, the new administration was taking the office. There was a lot of talk about tariffs. That's where we were at the time that this poll was in market. And so we really wanted to understand how the market, news, and other factors were impacting people's perception of sustainability. So we asked US consumers, should sustainability be a priority in food production? And to our surprise, a mere 8% said no. No, they said no, businesses really need to focus on affordability. And then on the flip side of that, 36% said businesses should focus on sustainability. So we were really heartened by that response. We also wanted to really understand people's awareness of environmentally sustainable animal proteins. Again, we were heartened by these results. The average American puts seafood on top. This is a shift away from chicken, which typically tops the list of perceived environmentally sustainable animal proteins. So that was a really positive result that we saw. But importantly, a third of people still don't know. That's still a big chunk of people, but we do know from our research that people do care. So that's, again, where the Research Council comes in. We are a global science-based nonprofit on a mission to end overfishing. Overfishing it threatens marine ecosystems, livelihoods, biodiversity. It's unfortunately on the rise. And our program is designed to try to bring those numbers down, working together with some of our partners. And so MSC recognizes and rewards sustainable fishing through our certification and eco-labeling program. We have a bluefish eco-label that can be found on seafood products in 70 countries around the globe, demonstrating to consumers that seafood is wild caught. It is wild caught in an environmentally sustainable way. It was independently verified for those claims. And so we really offer seafood consumers a simple way to identify environmentally sustainable seafood by looking for the MSC Bluefish label. I know we have several partners in the room that carry the MSC Eco label on products, so we're really happy about that. We really, based on the theme of this event, Powered by Seafood, we want to power people with certified sustainable seafood. So to get back to the consumer, the research on this slide is from our Global Consumer Perception Survey carried out by GlobeScan. In 2024, 91% of US seafood consumers said they're concerned about the state of the ocean, a big increase in concern since the previous study in 2022, a 9 percentage point increase. And 69% want to hear more from companies, so seafood companies, about the sustainability of their seafood, also a significant jump from the previous study. And we do this research every 2 years, so next year we'll see how these numbers have changed, whether they've increased and if they continue to grow. We also saw that independent verification of environmental claims increased in importance to the consumer. Shoppers want that third-party validation. They also help to increase trust. More than half said that eco-labels increase their trust in a brand. And Joel talked earlier about trust and how it builds the next generation of seafood consumers. So I'm going to pause for a moment here, just threw out a lot of stats at you. But I want to reflect on why we do this research, why it's important. So understanding our target audience helps us nuance our message. It helps us meet people where they are. And it helps us support their values when it comes to food and shopping. If they care about sustainability, if they care about the future of the ocean, we offer that to them with our eco label. We really can engage better with them when we understand them, and it helps us work better with our partners to reach them and to drive sustainable purchase. Importantly, we also want to make sure that we support some of this quantitative data that I just shared with you all with some qualitative insights. We really want to hear directly from the American seafood consumer. So we're going to hear from Nicole and Gail. They're going to be sharing their reactions and reflections to environmental labels, signposting of sustainability, and how it influences purchases online and offline.
When you see the symbol, it means the term is planet friendly with an independent certification to verify it's environmentally sustainable. That's awesome. Yeah, that gets my attention immediately.
Yeah, when it says like sustainable fishing practices, I think that that's really, well, it's one of the features on the page that is most helpful in choosing because it brings it up a level, it brings it up a notch.
So here we see Nicole and Gail reacting to some of the messages that we include in some of our marketing campaigns, and some of our partners put on their campaigns as well. And insights like these are so helpful for MSC and our partners to understand what matters to them, to the consumer, and helps design campaigns that address those desires.
When you see the symbol,
so like S&P's Fall in Love with Seafood campaign, we run consumer marketing campaigns in the United States to help Americans shop their values and educate them on MSC certified seafood as an environmentally friendly choice. Earth Month is a time when people are thinking about their impact on the planet. It's also a time of year where we know that Americans are eating a little bit more seafood than other times of year. So we've run an Earth Month campaign for the last 2 years. This slide shows the results of that campaign. We do a post-campaign survey, and we saw an uplift in the MSC label's impact on their purchase, on the people's willingness to purchase in all markets where the campaign was active. That's Los Angeles, New York, and Philadelphia. So we saw this increase over the last 2 years when we've run the campaign. So these are some of the examples of how we run the campaign. We launched in-store messaging in retail locations across the US. We've got aisle blades, freezer clings like the ones in these photos. We also ran digital ads. We worked with influencers. We educated through outdoor transit advertising. So these are just a couple of examples of how we've done that with some of our retail partners. But the key is this: simplicity. It's clear, concise messaging. And our research supports that. And you can see here, it's good for you and the ocean too. That's really simple, really clear. It tells people that it's good for them, but it's also good for the ocean. It's really something that people who care about that can get behind. We also know through some of our research that shoppers are feeling really overburdened at the grocery store, especially when it comes to seafood, in a way that it doesn't apply to other proteins. So simple, clear messaging can help guide them when shopping for seafood. So as I said, all of the markets where we ran our Earth Month campaign saw an uplift in the MSC label's impact on purchase. In LA specifically, and that's what's showing here, we saw recognition of the label increase as a result of this simple, direct messaging. And so again, our message was simple: seafood with the MSC label is good for you and the ocean too. From 41% recognition in March 2024 to 52 in May 2025 after the campaign ran. That is a significant increase. It's also well above the average seafood consumer awareness of the MSC eco-label in the United States, which is at 30%. So we can see these campaigns can really have a positive impact on choice. With simple, clear messaging, people do choose certified sustainable seafood for their health and for the health of the ocean. And I'm hopeful that Americans will continue to choose certified sustainable seafood for those reasons. So with that, I'm going to thank S&P again for having me, for the opportunity to share with you all. Before we wrap up, I want to invite you to a webinar where we're going to talk all about the American seafood consumer. We're hosting it later this fall, and we've got some really interesting insights that we've done through some focus groups. And so please sign up at that link. You'll get notifications about when that webinar is taking place. We invite you to join us and learn more. We also love talking about consumer insights. So please get in touch, talk to me or any of my MSC colleagues who are here. And you can also follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn to see what the Marine Stewardship Council is up to. Thank you very much.